Welcome back. Then plenty of stocks moving around from the mid-cap space, but let's really focus on Bajaj Electricals. What a dreams run that stock has had. If you just pull up the last 1 month chart, if you pull up maybe the last 3 month chart, you'll see that that stock has moved very swiftly from around that 200 odd levels all the way to around 385 as we speak. In fact, it's up 66% just in the last 3 months. To understand what's going on with the company, we have with us Mr. Bajaj, the CMD of Bajaj Electricals, who joins us. Hi, sir. Always a pleasure talking to you. What's the buzz? I mean, the stock is doing so well. I just wanted to focus on your consumer business first. We have seen a bit of a degrowth, in the last 9 months or so. Are we expecting some kind of pickup in the consumer segment, business segment? And also, if you could tell us, for FY18, if you're expecting a growth, what kind of numbers are we working with?
Okay, let me start by saying that the degrowth is not because the demand for consumer products is down.
Yeah.
It is our restructuring that is being done, because of which the sales are showing a negative numbers.
Right.
I'll explain in 1 minute about that. But because we are doing the complete different way of doing business in terms of redistribution, and therefore because of that, in the short run, though our sales are down, our margins are better than last year by 2 to 3%. And because of which the long-term future, the investors who are looking at Bajaj Electricals for some time think that over a period, because stock market moves on the basis of future. So current, they don't bother whether it's minus 10% or minus 5%. What is going to be a future? So therefore, what has happened that we are doing redistribution. See, 70% of the business of fans was being done through wholesaling.
Correct.
50% of our sale of appliances were done through wholesaling. We have decided that we are going out of the wholesale business market and going through our distribution channel 100%.
Okay.
And therefore, when you stop a wholesaler, obviously that sale is lost. So every time you keep increasing your distribution setup, which gives you a positive growth, but when you stop a wholesaling, there's a negative growth. And therefore, just now we reached a 40-50% of redistribution has been done. When we are hoping by end of this year, by December, we should be doing 90% of our distribution will be through this RREP or TOC method, which is a theory of constraint method. RREP stands for Range and Reach Expansion Plan. So we will be covering 90% through this distribution, the similar thing which is being done by FMCG companies. By going to shop by shop, having a regular beat, visiting every retailer every week on a fixed time basis. So because of that, the retailer is so happy because today he was earlier having to place an order, wait for a salesman to come. Whenever he comes, they don't know. Here they get a guarantee that, okay, Monday, 10 o'clock, I'll be in your shop. So
Right.
that is one. Second, what is very important, which is happening, that we have stopped giving special deals. And therefore, in the distribution market, what was happening, there was a wholesaler who will get a special deal that instead of 100 pieces, you want 500 pieces, I'll give you extra 3%, 5%. He was taking and putting it in the market. So a regular retailer would lose out because he will find his neighbor is getting a 98 when his cost is 100. So now all that is gone. So we are saying it doesn't matter. Short term, we are taking a hit. But long run, we think that the margins, our retailers are saying that in case of all our competitors, we make 5 to 7% margin because of the competition is undercutting and they're getting some special deals. While in case of Bajaj, I make 8 to 10% straight because all get at the same price. So therefore, there is no undercutting required because the costing is similar. Everybody has an overhead to worry about, and therefore, short term, it doesn't matter if somebody's cost is 95 and my cost is 100, if I sell at 110, he can always sell at 105.
Right.
But if everybody's cost is 100, then there's no problem. A 1 or 2% can happen for that. Market doesn't get disturbed. But if there's 3 to 5% differential, then the whole market gets disturbed, and therefore a lot of people are now shifting towards us as retailers to sell our products because they make guaranteed and they don't have to worry about competition, a competitor dealer getting it at a cheaper price or something like that.
So
That is what.
So, Mr. Bajaj, for how many more quarters should we expect this near-term pain? You said as of now, 40 to 50% of redistribution is completed. By the end of this calendar year, you will hit 90%. Should we expect till then the weakness in consumer durables will continue?
No,
how much more could your margins improve?
No, the margins have already improved.
Right.
As I said, 2 to 3%, which is going to be sustainable. Now, what happens is that just now, 40% is done through this distribution model. The other 60% is through the wholesalers, and all are still continuing, which we are one at a time stopping and then going for distribution in those markets. Now, in the next quarter, we'll find that 80%, 60% of them have gotten through the other distribution method. So there'll be more positives and less negatives. So I'm expecting in the current year itself, for the year which we are talking about, we should have a double-digit growth very clearly.
Okay.
But for the year 17-18, double-digit growth in case of consumer products. The other thing which has happened, which is very important, is that we have merged all the 4 businesses units in the B2C business. Earlier we had separate lamp team, separate appliances. We had a DAP team, separate fan team. Now all 4 are merged. So from a retailer point of view, if you look at it, when my distributor goes to a retailer with a range of products, he says, this is great. Because upcountry, most people are dealing in all products, unlike Bombay or something where there'll be a fan dealer. There's nothing like a fan dealer upcountry. They are dealing in all products. So he says one person comes, he takes the order for fan, appliances, lighting, everything. So he says, life is easy for me. He comes every week, takes order from me, and he's giving me a full range of products, so I don't have to track and keep up. So from that angle, a retailer is the one who for us is very important. Also, the policy of the government, the budget, everything, and the demonetization, which has all happened.
Perfect. All right. Mr. Bajaj, we take your point, you're really looking into the functionality of the business and expecting that margins, productivity will improve going ahead. So if you could give us some numbers, because we're running a little short on time. Raw material.
So the numbers, as I said, that I'm looking at a double-digit growth in coming for the year.
Consumer business.
For the consumer
and the EPC business, sir?
That will be, should be 20% plus, because we've got very high order book, and therefore if we don't do that much, the double-digit 20% plus growth would not take place. We will not be able to. There'll be LDs and all, because we have to finish it.
So 20% growth for consumer business or for the entire?
No. Double-digit. That means 10% plus will be in the consumer product.
Yes, and overall
20% plus will be the EPC product.
Okay. And what about any price hikes undertaken by Bajaj Electrical, considering that we've seen commodity?
Nominal price increase 2-3% keeps taking, depending on the item and depending on some item which is aluminium based, the cost is going up. Somewhere it may not be required, but because of our centralized purchases, because of our distribution, frankly speaking, at the level, let me tell you, the consumer is not bothered about 3%, 5%.
Correct.
The retailers are the ones who keep saying that retailer is getting cheaper, and therefore to that extent, he makes a big halla about it. As a consumer, if I like a product, I will buy it.
All right, Mr. Bajaj, very quickly, before we let you go, we have to ask you, operationally, you're sounding quite confident. FY18 actually is looking quite good if you can do these numbers. Is there any possibility that there can be some spinning off the business, maybe a demerger, maybe you're looking at some kind of inorganic growth as well? It's pure speculation, sir. You can clarify that.
No, as far as this, at this moment, we are not thinking of that. That is something which for the last 2-3 years, every investor keeps asking, that these two businesses are so different. The EPC business and the consumer product business, why are you not separating it out? The issue is that last 3-4 years, if we would have listened to them, there was the consumer product business which was making good profit. The EPC was losing money. Both together were making it workable. Otherwise, one would have been cash rich and one would have been bankrupt.
Correct. But will you do that in future, sir?
Now both the businesses are positive. So therefore, that problem is not there from a cash flow point of view. But except for the valuation, which frankly speaking doesn't make any difference, we are only looking at from a business point of view, When tomorrow, if I find that I need to have a good partner or something where it makes sense from a business point of view, then we are going to demerge. If suppose you find a partner in EPC business and therefore he will not be interested in the other business, then you say, okay, this is a partner.
Mr. Bajaj, but nothing on the table as of now, is
no,
what
nothing
you're
on the nothing on the table at
Fantastic.
this moment.
All right.